Welcome to my sewing journey. Today I am working on star quilt block, or sometimes called the sawtooth star quilt block. And basically this is what it looks like. I like to make myself a little chart on a piece of paper that I put into an old school binder that has just a rough sketch of what the block is supposed to look like. That way I know when I'm sewing it where to place what and how to place it, and I have my measurements on there. So what I started with was the center block, which is 4.5-inch square all the way around. Now this can be any color. It doesn't necessarily have to match your star points. I've seen ones where they've done this one in the little background colors or had done it differently. I've seen ones where they've done a 9 patch here and had the little star points match. I've seen ones where people have done embroidery work. I've seen ones where people put cross stitch in the center. There's a lot you can do with this. If you wanted to fussy cut and have a square and a square, you could do that too. So there's a lot you can do with that. Next, you'll do the flying geese unit. And I have a little small diagram of that one to help out with that. And that just simply, well, without this piece here, so we'll pretend this isn't here. But you would do 4.5 inches long. Now I got that measurement from this here because we're putting it right up against here. So that would be 4.5 inches long. And then 2.5 inches wide. And my square, I chose the same fabric as the center block for my star points. So this piece is 2.5 inches square all the way around. And I was taught to draw a line and then sew it and then pull it this way and then sew your background piece on. You could trim away the excess if you wanted to. Now you're going to do 2 without this little owl pattern. And it's going to look like that, which you're going to turn it this way. And then you'll sew the 2 sides on first. And then you'll sew the one with the owl on there. And the owl fabric is 2.5-inch square. So you'll sew that right sides facing together, flip it over. And that will give you this big long piece here. Now these are a lot of fun to do. You can use your scraps for them. If you want to put a border on it around, whatever you decide for the width of the border, let's say if you decided a 1.5-inch long one, you could do 1.5 inches wide, and then it would be 8.5 inches long to cover the top. Now your side border coming down, so you would do that top one that's 8.5 inches long on the top and the bottom. Then you would do your side that would be 1.5 inches by 10.5 inches long. And then you would have that would be your border on there if you wanted to do a border. If you wanted to do a 2-inch border, it'd be the same thing. You'd just have it 2 inches wide, and then you would do 8.5 inches long and 8.5 inches long, and then the 10.5-inch long one. As you can see, they're not that complicated to do. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for liking, and happy sewing.